Hello everyone. So I was supposed to be doing a live streaming, which I am right now at 10 o'clock Thailand time. I have a live streaming appointment, I suppose, on YouTube, and I don't know how it works. So if you've been following me for a while, you may have realized that I'm not very technically inclined, and so I cannot, and I'm having a lot of problems with all of my different devices thanks to all the energy shifts. So I have no idea how to access that appointment, and it won't allow me to do it on my mobile nor on my phone. So I'm gonna have to just figure that out. So I'm streaming right now, right here, this way. And what I want to share with you, first of all, during this little session, I want to share with you my experience of yesterday. Thank you. My experience of yesterday, and I want to, be open for any questions, answers, or sharings that there are. So, my experience. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. My experience yesterday, I have kept on being received. I keep on receiving the date of the 11th, and on the 11th of itself, I had a beautiful soul sister arrive from the airport, and there was a moment in time I got told now it's time to lay down. So I went to my own room, my own apartment, and I laid down. Since the morning I did connecting with my twin flame, I wasn't called to do any specific morning routine. I usually have a very deep practice in the morning, but just to be and be still. The whole day I was feeling quite, I call it grandma zombie mode. My body is very slow, very tired, and everything is moving, I'm moving gently. So come around the afternoon, I think it was about noonish, in my time zone, I lay down on my mattress and I quickly went to that in-between space, that interdimensional timeless space, where I was receiving full-on downloads, information, guidance, information from the future, upcoming timelines. And a lot of it, because there's so much coming in, my conscious self in this timeline may not be able to recite it all, but it's all stored in places in my mind, if you will, so that when I need it, I can grab it out at that moment in time. I hope that makes sense. Before I dropped into that space, I was laying on my back on the bed and I was looking up at the ceiling, and some of you may already have been seeing this like static energy everywhere. I've seen that since a young child, but I thought it was normal, and I saw many things, orbs and many other things, and I always thought it was normal because no one spoke about it, and I thought it was just my eyes. And either way, yesterday it was very, very intense. Hello, welcome Patrice to the channel. We're talking about the pre-event from that I experienced yesterday, the 11th of October, an energetical surge, and my experience yesterday. So, I was laying down, and as I was looking up, there was static white everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Very dense, denser than it's ever been in my whole entire life. In fact, it's like very bright. So it's so bright that I can't even really properly, I can see everything that's there, the ceiling and the roof and whatsoever. But I first see all the staticness before I can like look deeper and see, what's really there, or really there. And it was very bright. It's as if there's like static white glitter, white light everywhere, and very bright. So my eyes get very tired because of this overwhelming brightness, overwhelming energy, and it's all moving. It's constantly like moving and changing and vibrating, and I can feel the vibrations of all of these static dots within my being. So it gets very tiring for my eyes. I'm just going to close my eyes while I imagine exactly laying there yesterday. Oh yeah, then I saw many different dark and lighter shapes come through, kind of, if you will, like kind of shadows that would blink on and off. Did it look like an old tube TV? Yeah, kind of like that, but more in a glittery way. So like the old static, but imagine like fairy dust, like all sparkly and glittery. So yeah, then I saw these kind of shadowy, they're kind of more rectangular shapes that come in and out. And then it felt really, really, really dense. The densest I've ever felt this energy, the static, like almost tangible. Before it was, yeah, like the static from a TV, an old TV, but glittery and fairy-like. So this energy is becoming more real, more dense, more noticeable. Even as I'm talking to you right now, if I look everywhere around me, it's just full on colors and static. Yeah. And as I was laying down there, I felt really heavy, like a great weight was being put on me, as if it had its own weight, right? So I really felt kind of gently, but still strongly being pushed into the mattress. Not that I couldn't breathe, not uncomfortable, but noticing it was bearing weight, you know? Before, I always saw it kind of more in a 2D kind of, oh, there's sparkles out there, but now it's just everywhere and I can feel it. It's like almost like I can just grab every piece of it. So that was happening. As I was laying down, my body was again in zombie grandma mode. I couldn't move. Everything, my whole body was in pain. I have a very high pain tolerance. So it was okay, but it was definitely that there was like pain and uncomfortableness. My wrists really were hurting, as if, you know, they were maybe perhaps broken, that kind of, or twisted. Every muscle, every bone was just like tense, uncomfortable, in pain, not flowing. I could hardly move, so it's just like really just being a dead couch potato there. And the energies that were moving, my feet chakras, the chakras on the bottom of, or energy portholes on the bottom of my feet, there was a lot flowing outwards, so from upwards, downwards, out through my feet constantly. And it wasn't even just flowing, it was even like sucking. So I've done these, have you ever been in one of those detox foot spa machines, and they kind of like suck out the toxins? I kind of, when I'm in those, I can literally feel the toxins being pulled out, and that's what it felt like a pulling sensation on like many little threads being pulled out of the bottom of soles of my feet. And continuously there were like waves of energy surging from the crown all the way down to my body, through my feet, and that kept on happening. My whole body was hot. My whole body was tintiling, energy moving everywhere, which feels like pins and needles, tintiling, and once in a while in different spaces it would be more of a pinch. Let's say like someone just put a pen in my thigh, so I could feel that more while the rest of the tintiling and pins and needles was still happening. While I'm feeling all of this energy moving throughout my feet, while all my body is feeling achy, while I'm feeling my wrists in pain, while I'm seeing all this energy flying everywhere, and I'm just laying there. So yeah, there was a lot going on, and after a while, I went into that in-between space where you are nor awake nor sleeping, nor conscious nor unconscious, where you, reunite or unite in different realms, where we are able to heal and receive massive amounts of information. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about, that space. And I dropped it down into that, so my breathing started to become really shallow, about a breath or so a minute. And that's where I was just receiving full on information, downloads, and many different people speaking, in visions, in energy, in sacred geometry, in many different ways, and all happening so fast that my conscious mind right here cannot even perceive it all, but I know that it's being downloaded into my being, and right now, as I speak to you right now, it's all being absorbed and filed away where it needs to be, and I feel that. Yes. So as I was into that, if you will, meditative trance-like state, after about an hour or an hour and a half, I suddenly took a breath, and I kind of awoke from the zombie dead, if you will. So I was like, I need food, was the first thing that came to my mind, quite loudly, as a voice even. And I looked down to my phone, and as I mentioned, my twin flame and a soul sister are here right now. And just a minute previous, I received a message that they were going to eat. And I said, perfect, well, I also need food. So I checked in, and it was guided for me to have lunch with them. So we did. And that was very nice. As I stood up, I was quite disorientated. I mean, I knew where I was, but I was feeling weak, you know. I really was moving through the room a little bit grandma style. Everything was a little dizzy, and as I was going downstairs, I was still arriving to this world, if you will. I was still in an in-between dreamlike state. We had lunch, and later I was guided to lay down once more. And on the second session, laying down, the same was happening. What I just mentioned before, without going, the static energy, full-on receiving and transmuting. I could actually feel the transmutation of my cells. So the downloads arriving into my cell in a molecular structure, and I can feel them morphing, if you will, mutating, upgrading. So yeah, I spent a few hours just laying with that, and literally not being able to move, and just accepting it and feeling it. And all of this is been a beautiful experience. It was never scary. It's all good energy. But as I know the karmas that I've chosen, I don't have a problem taking on a lot. And I have high pain tolerance. So I'm like, come on, give it to me. I'm hardcore, extreme ascension. Let's do it. So for me, it was fine. Others may go through this in a way lighter way, or not feel it, or feel it even more. So it's all different, depending, we're never given anything we can't handle. And so I could fully handle that. And I knew what was happening. So there was no fear. After a few hours of absorbing, was there any heart racing at that time? No heart racing, no worry, no elevation. It was more just laying and just fully receiving, surrender mode, really surrender mode. Like, I am your vessel, and, upgrade me and do whatever you need to do. And here I am, just taking the time for it. That was kind of what was going on in my mind. Yeah, so come evening time, there was a moment that just stopped, and I was guided to reunite with my twin flame and soul sister upstairs, and just be present with others, which I was surprised at. I didn't know, but it was good for me to just be around other loving souls, and so I did. Come evening time after that, when I was getting prepared for bed, I was quite awake, and I could feel just everything that was uploaded, all that information was starting to file itself, being absorbed, being put in its place. Yes, I woke up this morning. I was in a very deep, like KO sleep. I was not being very consciously active in my dream time last night. It was just like darkness, and I woke up. Okay, it's a new day. And then today, I feel way lighter. Energies have shifted. It isn't like I went from dark to white, but I have energy. I'm not in grandma mode, and I can feel the unwinding and the rising of the energy again, of my energy. I can feel super way lighter than energies than the last few days for me, which was the last few days have been not only things that are going on with me, but I tune a lot into the collective consciousness. There was a lot of darkness, a sadness, and not knowingness, and also of my own stuff, you know, that I'm releasing, and I don't feel that at all today, and I feel very still. Very still and very present. Not even overjoyously excited and dancing, and not in low energy, but just in this is where we are, the stillness, and this is how we're moving forward, and it feels great. Yeah, I think that was all. I wanted to share that experience with you all, and I wanted to be open to see if anyone wanted to share their experiences a little bit, or if they have gone through anything yet, or if if you guys have any questions of any sort. I wanted to open up and share a little bit. Thank you for tuning in. Pression group. Am I saying that right? Pression group. Is it over now? Yeah. The process that I was going through is definitely precision group. Thank you. Yeah. Quite a night yesterday. Yes, I believe so. So is it over now? Yes, it's over now. But now, that's what I did forget to mention. Since the morning, this new staticness. Can you tell us how you see and get downloads from our higher selves? I will get onto that here in a minute. So since I woke up, this intense, more dense staticness, energy everywhere, it's just a constant brightness. And I feel that is not going to, this heightenedness of it is not going to leave me. And if anything, just get more dense. So the question was, how do I see things, and how do I connect to my higher self? Is I see things in many different ways. Whether it is in visions, clairaudience, so hearing, clairvoyance, seeing things, sometimes more with my eyes here, and sometimes with my mind's eye, the third eye. I often get information just through sometimes it's voices, sometimes it's just a download. I can feel energy moving in me, and suddenly there is a compartment of information within my being, within my brain, that's now available. And sometimes it comes through sacred geometry, and sometimes it goes through light language. So I often, my whole life as well, see light language symbols in the air, and they kind of flicker and they move. And especially when I'm in zones where there's no Wi-Fi, or when I'm up in an airplane or up in the mountains, I will see them constantly all the time. When I'm in the cities and other areas, they will come and go, you know, a few times a day. I had this my whole life. I didn't know what that was till actually quite recently, and I found out that it was, you know, light language script, or language symbols, writings. And as of this year, just a few months ago, my light language speech started to come through. So a lot of the information I receive is through singing or speaking light language when I'm in a meditative state. And while I'm singing and saying that light language, I am receiving information, sometimes healings for myself, and sometimes while I'm receiving that light language and that information or healing, I translate it at the same time. Are we all going to experience that, or that can just pass by? We are all different. We are all on a specific path, and what we perceive and what our quote-unquote abilities are all different, you know? We are all very unique in our own way. Some of us have chosen to see and do a lot of things because it's specifically linked to our purpose and our work and what we're here to do. We have come here and we have always been given the tools that we need. I had a dream in which I was helping out a version in myself, another realm. It was dark. I needed a lot of strength to stand up, and something was going on in that society. I woke up from this dream with a feeling like I was really helping this version of myself, and that she was going to succeed despite all of the fear. Are you my sugar daddy? Someone says. I don't think so. And can you please show us your feet and wiggle them toes? Okay. So yeah, some of you may be going into different places right now, whether in dream state or visions, where you are seeing yourself helping others, where maybe you have had visions in the last years and now you're having them more frequent, more real, more tangible. And that is a timeline that, if you will, from the someone's asking, you mentioned 10 to the 14th in the pre-event, or can we still experience this in the coming days? Well, it is only the 12th over here, and the 13th and 14th are still to come. So I believe, with the information I have received, that the peak times is between the 10th and the 14th is when most people will have felt it. I believe 11th was the actual peak, but it will be different depending where you are, how you perceive things and receive things. So yeah, this energy on and off switch, right? Another question, is shadow work accelerated during the pre-event? I'm very triggered during this last month. That is totally such a good question, and I was going to do a video here shortly about that. Yes, it is time. This whole period of before this pre-event and the event, it's all about shadow work. It's about clearing the canvas. It's about letting go of our traumas, our programming, our old stories, our old habits, all of that. This is all about letting go of your shadow self, clearing your canvas so receive more fully, more clearly, because if we haven't let go of our shadow work, we are looking and receiving through dirty glasses, if you will, right? So the more we clean everything, we can be a pure channel, we can receive information better and more truly, and we can share it from a better space. So if we are wanting to help others and be that light for others, we need to be able to shine the brightest light from ourselves. And receive the brightest light from higher sources. But we can only do that if we are as clear as possible. So we want to get rid of the shadow work. So everything that's been happening these last 1.5 months and this whole year, this whole year is an ascension year, is about clearing the canvas, is about shadow work. And so yes, just these last days working up to this pre-event has been all about really letting go of it. So some of you, it may have been the darkest days of this year. Okay, what else can I have? Can you do a hair reveal? No, not right now. I felt a spirit breathing on me in my ear last night. Schoolboy. Well, I hope it was a good feeling and not a scary feeling. You know, there are spirits and beings all over the place, on top of, like, everywhere we are, on different dimensions. And as long as we are in our heart, in our right vibration, nothing can harm us, because we don't give it the power to harm us. And we are having lots of helpers and guidance and people in other dimensions helping our ascension. And some of us may be consciously working with them, some unconsciously. And whenever, you know, such things are happening to you, anything that's new or out of the ordinary, if you will, you can always take a moment and just tune in, because you may be like overwhelmed or a bit fear, and just tune in for a second and say, does this feel like good energy or not good energy? If it feels like good energy, you have nothing to fear, and just, you know, absorb. And if there is something that feels off for you, then you say, you know, step into the light. I don't want this energy, go somewhere else, because you have the keys. You are the controller of your existence, of your experience. Let's see, what else am I seeing? I am being shown signs through numbers and dances in my body and mind. Yeah. So a lot of codes and activations are coming through numbers, like, you know, everyone's talking about the 111111 or 222 or all of 171, 1122. These are activational codes, and as we are seeing them, they are helping us deprogram and have new programs. Yeah. Let it go, that's right. It's all about karma clearing, letting go, surrendering, and getting everything that's not serving us. You know, all these past issues, they're not serving us, so we can let go. I guess we all have to figure out what tools we came in with for our missions. Exactly. That's what this time is about. We're clearing the canvas so that we can be more of a pure light, we can receive more of a pure light, and then we can start to look at ourselves and date ourselves, if you will, and start to master ourselves. And as we master and really get to know who we are and our abilities, and sometimes, you know, we really need soul family to reflect on that. People who get us, so we can compare. For example, when I was younger, I saw all of these things, but I thought it was just, you know, I thought everybody saw it and it was nothing, just something about my eye. If I had soul family to reflect upon it, I would have been told, oh, that's actually energy and that's entities and all of these things, but I didn't know. So yeah, it's time for clearing the canvas and self-mastery, knowing our tools. The spirit whispered the word Lucifer in my ear. I hope it wasn't as scary. How did you feel? Was it scary or not scary for you? Because there is a lot of the dark energies or entities right now that are doing things in the world, you know, in the government, etc. They are from, you can say, from the Luciferian agendas, and a lot of their agendas and what they have been doing and the power that they've been taking over, that's all been kind of breaking right now. And a lot of, if you will, the light forces have been clearing all of that. So perhaps you were tuning into what's happening right now. We must clear ourselves to help the collective consciousness. Exactly. As we are clearing ourselves, every time we are being a brighter and more clear self, we are, because we're all connected, right? We are all, each and every one of our beings, souls, are a cell of one big organism. And as we are clearing ourselves, we are brightening more cells of this one organism we are all part of. So that's why this inner work is the most important work. Forget about helping everybody else. Forget about trying to help the world and save your friend and save your partner. Go within and make yourself the brightest light. Go within and clear yourself. Take care of yourself right now. Here in a moment, yes, we will be helping our neighbor, our partners, our friends, but we can't do that if we're not a clear channel. So I actually have a board right here of a talk about clearing our canvas and about clearing our canvas and self-mastery. It's a video I want to make before the day is over. When you see everyone else, remember they too are all part of Source. Exactly. We have to have compassion for every person and meet them where they're at. You know, if they are being mean and grouchy, come on, I can honestly say I was mean and grouchy and I was exactly that person one day. So we have to have love and compassion for where they're at and know that they're on a journey. And tomorrow they may be super happy beings, and maybe it takes a month and maybe a year or a decade. But inside of them is the same light that shines within us. They just may have, you know, a lot of clearing that they haven't fully done yet, and that's okay. For 2 days, my left side of my back, I've had the pulsating pressure like a hand on your upper back. I wonder if that's in between your shoulder blades, where again there are kind of like wing chakras, and in between our shoulder blades, when we expand that, that's kind of where our wings are. And as we open up our wings, our etheric wings, yes, this is when we're walking more in our path and our truth and showing our colors. So hello from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello there. I sure see a lot of those numbers, but I don't feel any different. So a lot of those numbers, okay, let's see. We can have visions and moments and like intense experiences where we straight away feel a difference and we're like, whoa, I just went through this experience. And then there's a lot of information that our higher selves or ourselves on different dimensions, they are receiving that information. So for example, when I mentioned about literal downloads, my conscious self, I don't know, I can't tell you right now the story of what is downloaded in me, but I know it's within me and it's been stored in my subconscious, if you will, another layer of my being, ready to grasp wherever I am. So when I see those numbers, in the beginning, I never felt anything, but I can feel that downloads are happening during that whole period, and I would see them very oftenly. And now I will know when a number is a code number and when the number is just, you know, a number or it's just a moment in time. But that is happening in our etheric self and more in our subconscious self. So honestly, if we would be conscious of everything that we're going through, all the ascension processes that we're going through on all dimensions of our being, we would literally not be able to like function. We couldn't even make food or hold a conversation. So really be happy that you only see as much as you're only seeing as much as you need to, as you have to. And if we were seeing all dimensions right now, we'd have brain fart, if you will. I had an almost out-of-body experience last night, but it frightened me as I wasn't sure what I would see and lost control of my body. So was fighting it a bit. Yeah, which is totally fine. It can be really new and overwhelming, an experience that you've never had before, and suddenly you're having an out-of-body experience and it's all blissful, and then maybe the it's usually the left side of our brain. Our conscious mind goes, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is this normal? And when we have those moments, we could quickly get into a little anxiety or a little bit fear, because kind of we may have let our conscious mind or our pre-programming of most of our life get the best of us, and that's absolutely fine. So that was your first experience, and you experienced as much as you wanted to and could at that moment in time. And then the next round, when you experience something like that, it will be less frightening or overwhelming, if you will, because you've already experienced it, and then you start to get to know it more and more. So it's just it's a journey, right? It's like if you start if you're going to be diving off of a cliff, the first time when you dive off the cliff, it's kind of scary and your stomach goes upside down and you're like, what the heck am I doing? And then you dive off that same cliff another 5 to 10 times and you're fine and you're enjoying it and it's all good, right? Schoolboy said he wasn't scared when he heard that whisper in his ear. That's good. That's great. So then it's in light. I was just drawn to your channel and now you're live. Thank you. If I'm triggered by relatives, ooh, they're the big triggers. They're our biggest lessons. It is better to deal with them directly or project their aspects within me and deal with them with inner work. That's such a good question. When we're dealing with shadow work, there's lots of things going on. First of all, you know, we have to take responsibility for all of our actions. If someone is triggering us, if anytime we are getting angry, jealous, annoyed, frustrated, that's something that's happening within us. No one can make us feel anything, no, unless we give them the power, the key, to make us feel a certain way. So if someone is doing something that's triggering me, that means there's healing to do within me, so that the next time a person or that person does that, which usually triggers me, after I've healed that, it won't trigger me anymore. So it's always, we want to work as that is my issue and taking ownership, right? And not saying, hey, blaming on another person, like you did that to me, because we allowed them to make, you know, make that person feel angry or frustrated or whatsoever. But then it depends also on the relationship, you know, if you have a really open relationship with said person and you can communicate about these things and actually delve in deep, like with my twin flame, for example, if something triggers me about something he did and I feel triggered, then I may mention, hey, I'm feeling triggered right now. It's making me feel really sad or unappreciated. But I know that's mine. And then usually I can also bring up like, that's because when I was younger, this and this happened, and that's a story, and I know it's me, etc. So I'm not telling him not to do it, but then he can A, be aware, and B, me just explaining that and owning up to that, that's a healing process. And a lot of times after just saying that and expressing that, it's already dissolved and it's healed and it doesn't happen anymore. So depending on the relationship you have with other people, if it's a safe space, you know, we can heal that together, and depending where you are with that. But definitely no blaming, etc. Okay. What is hentai? I'm not sure what hentai is. Will you do videos of downloads you receive for the collective moving forward? Yeah, for sure. Please tell me. I found you today for the first time and feel blessed to be introduced to your spirit and channel. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, Jennifer Young. How animals experience the pre-event. Oh, that's super interesting. Someone told me that they heard a bunch of coyotes barking, going a bit wild. I mean, they're more sensitive than we are. Personally, I don't have any. I'm in the city right now, so I'm not around animals as much, only the birds that come to my balcony. I haven't been seeing any difference. But I have been noticing animals when I am in a very high state. I've had once you know, like 200 dragonflies come, or 30 dragonflies come in front of my balcony window on the 8th floor, or like I'm in the park working with somebody and like 30 doves will surround us suddenly. So stuff like that. They are very in tune. I keep feeling like something is sitting around the top of my head, like I forgot to take a hat off. I don't know. I don't wear hats. Could be your halo coming through. Anyone know why they are releasing radioactive water into the ocean from Fukushima? That's a whole story and a half. Funny you say that, because of wings was something that came to my mind, lol. So Ash Girl, what you could do is when my wings were coming through and they have been released, but more and more so they are taking a greater and bigger form. There are etheric wings, mine are turquoise. And it was actually 2 years of intense pain on my heart and my shoulder blades, and that was just my wings coming through and like activating that area. And I was in a dark room retreat and I was guided to ask archangels to help me. I work with different dimensions. One of them is with angelic realms. And Archangel Metatron and Michael came down, and literally I was laying on the bed and they were like operating / massaging my wings, and they were helping me release it, and I could feel it. Like my whole shoulders went like this, and it was about a 20-minute experience. And by the end of it, I could feel like my chest was forward, my shoulders were back, and a lot of the pressure I've been feeling and pains, discomfort for the last 2 years were relieved. And I could see in my mind's eye my beautiful turquoise wings spread. And I also knew that they hadn't fully spread, but they are out and they are, you know, really stretching every day more and more so. And they told me they're very happy to help. Both of those are, the angelic realms are really easy to connect with, even if you have never connected with them before, or you maybe don't resonate with them before, but they, you know, you call them and they come. So perhaps something you want to engage in. Hello from Slovenia. Cool. International. How did you come to live there? I'm nosy. Is that to me or to Slovenia? I'm not sure. But I'm in Thailand and I've been coming here for 10 years and I've kind of been stationed and guided to be here. And thank you, Schoolboy, for your love. So yeah. Can you tell us how to create a dark room retreat? Yes, definitely I can. And I will do actually a separate video, it's been calling me, about it. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. So I'm gonna get that all written down and I'll be doing that in the next upcoming period for sure. Wow, I'm so happy to read all of your messages and your engagements and your comments and questions. I mean, thank you all so much for being here with me right now. Yeah. Are you thinking about making some retreats to others in the future? Yes, so right now, as of the end of this year and next year, I am starting to give, and as I have been already, but I give free workshops and I do free, you know, different readings and healings, and I will be actually doing a worldwide tour next year with retreats, workshops and courses. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be around or come visit me, but I'll let you guys know as soon as it starts. Do you have any information concerning the fall of the Catholic Church? Could you be a little bit more specific of the fall right now, this moment, or just in general in the last, you know, 100 years? Feel like I've been drugged, so sleepy. Guys, we're going through so much on dimensions we do not even perceive. And so there is nothing wrong with you. You're not sick. There's nothing wrong with you if you're feeling absolutely exhausted, absolutely tired, absolutely aching from head to toe. If you can, do as much self-care, bath with Epsom salts, get massages, get your boyfriend to massage you, you know, get a massager vibrating stick thing. Self-massage, oil yourself, be kind to yourself, rest as much as possible. Even if you can't sleep and your mind is racing, just lay down with some relaxing music, close your eyes. Yeah, it's a lot we're doing, and some of us, like myself, who are very active people, it's hard to just do nothing for a moment and just receive, but we've got to surrender to that. So try your best. My toddler are emotional roller coasters. Yeah, like all of us, or at least myself. How are children going to experience the event? Thank you, beautiful soul sister. That's also a really interesting question. And I can't answer that because every child and every person and every being is absolutely unique in their own way. And so they will have totally unique experiences depending on their karma, on their choices, who they are, etc. But what I can say is I know that a lot of the children being born right now, some of them, I think maybe you've seen them, they have all the answers of the universe within their eyes. They're so switched on, amazing, powerful beings. And some of them are just being born right now just to hold that frequency, a frequency of, I'm getting tingles while I'm saying this, a frequency of love, a frequency of light. They're just holding, if you will, they're being born, and that's also a grid system that's being put around the world, and they're just emanating that as like bundles of love and compassion to help us who are a bit older right now and have more active roles within this ascension process. And that's what they're coming to do. Each generation is coming in, you know, quicker and faster and more tuned in. And I'm not saying that older generations aren't. Older generations, like I'm an older generation already, if you look at like the bundles of light that are coming in right now. And we have experience and we have wisdoms and we have other stuff. And together, all generations working together, you know, that makes a whole, that makes a powerful team right there. I think Aluna Ash had info about the Vatican coming to an end and the truth coming out. You know, that's really interesting. I checked her out the other day. Aluna Ash and I, we have lots of totally different information, and we have a lot of overlapping information, and very often at the same day, and then like different aspects of that information. So she's amazing and beautiful. Well, if you guys haven't checked her out, I recommend her so much. And she was talking about the Vatican falling, and it's funny because I've been receiving glitches of visions and information about the Vatican as well. Nothing too deep. She has been receiving more deep information so far, and as far as I know, I'll get more information closer to the time. But I've been feeling those things too. Someone's mentioning the fall of the Vatican. Rumor has it that which is hidden will be revealed. That I totally agree. That's already what's happening. Look out in the world. Everything that's being hidden is being revealed. The lies within the system, you know, corruption, all of these things are being revealed. Even the earthquakes, all of this, even our own shadow. Even our own shadow selves that we've been hiding within ourselves is coming out and being revealed in these days, right? So, yes. Let's see. Some people are not being affected. What's the deal? All the reptilians are doing just fine out there, here in the good old USA. Again, not everyone has to be feeling this, and there are many different bloodlines, many different origins, and not everyone's going to resonate with these same dates, with these same energies. We are all one, but we are all plugged into different octaves and layers. So people who resonate mostly with me or with certain people or certain information is because we hold similar bloodlines, or we've worked together, or yeah. And other people who are vibrating in a different octave or situation, they will be fully feeling other things. Again, there's so much out there, we can't perceive everything all the time. Yeah, just like the masses who are asleep right now, they're not noticing any of this, and that's because they're vibrating on a very different octave and they're dealing with other stuff, right? I hope that makes sense. Been sleeping a lot. That's good that you're sleeping. It's in our sleep that we can really connect and file away and heal and download. Vatican won't fall that easily to be Catholics. Deborah, I'm in Atlanta. GA, cool. You guys should meet up in Atlanta. The Vatican had been suppressing the truth and history for centuries. The truth will be revealed. All that has been hidden will come to the surface, and the collective awareness. That's happening every day, more and more so. Love me some Aluna Ash. I love me some Aluna Ash too. Can I ask you, how do you support yourself financially so far? I'm unsuccessful manifesting abundance. That's a good question. I'm not going to go into specifics how I support myself financially. I have, I left the house when I was 16 with no money, and I have been making it work for myself. But since I have been working solely, let's say, more in service and in the light, money, I suppose, just flows. I did have some savings of some hard work that I did. And really, honestly, whenever I really need to do something or be somewhere, I will state like, wow, I really need, like, I'm guided to go to a certain festival to meet certain people, and I say, well, I don't have the financials. If I have $1,000, I could actually go there, and then within 2 days something happens and some money comes through. So I suggest doing healing with your relationship with money, and Abraham Hicks does some good stuff, and seeing it as an energy flow, and knowing that if you are doing exactly what you need to be doing and not connected to fear, whatever tools you need, whether that tool be money or a hug or love or a physical tool, will come to you if you're doing your proper path and purpose. And this takes some time, and that's okay. What's more important about manifesting abundance for self is just do daily practice of manifesting wealth and health and food and homes and family and support for all beings of the multiverse. And yeah, that's a good way to concentrate on the bigger picture and just be in tune. The light will reveal all that is hidden, for sure. I had a dream last week where I was laying on the floor and a huge flood of energy was flowing through me. I couldn't move and my wife was looking at me in disbelief. Beautiful. That sounds like a beautiful experience to me. That's kind of how I felt yesterday. And then I then went to another part of the dream where I was showing my daughter how to move objects with this energy. It was nuts. Beautiful. That's very beautiful. I've been experiencing very red hot ears. Yes, I also do. Pressure on the ears, noises in the ears, vibrations. Then I had a dream 2 nights ago, and a lady placed her fingertips on each side of my head, pushing energy into my head, and I looked at her and said, oh, that's why they said I needed to find you. Interesting. There are minor chakras near the ear, jaw area. Many are having jaw pain. Yes, there's also just underneath over here. It's connected to our sinuses, and if you touch over here, mostly a lot of us will be sore here, so we can do gentle massagings. Can you explain what true feminine is and what is true masculine? That is a really good question for a full video, upcoming video. So I'd love it if you write me that, and I will answer those things in my reflection, in my truth, right? Love Luna, but I also love your channel that is smaller and more intimate. You are a hidden gem. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Thank you. Hola desde Chile. Chile. Hola, chileno. ¿Cómo estás? Is that something you... Okay, they're talking to each other. Hidden gem. That's nice. It is nice. I've been waiting for your update from the 11th. How did it go? Sorry, was late to the stream. I think as soon as we finish this stream, you'll be able to rewatch it from the beginning, and there I explain about the 11th. Stay out of fear, as fear will block. That's so true. Where are the highest vibrations on our planet today? Good question. And where specifically in North America? Good question. That's a really good question, and I think that's also different for every person, because they are all around the world. Okay, we have, you know, our ley lines, we have sacred places, we have places that are vortex places, portholes, high vibrational, a little less vibrational, and some of them keep on changing. And it's really also specific to you, who you are and what vibration you're vibrating on, what you need at that specific time and moment, which can change every day, every moment, every hour. So it's more about what is the most high vibrational place and time, place and time, space and time that you can be at this specific moment in time for the best benefit for your growth. That's kind of the question. So some people are being guided, you know, to suddenly move home because their vibration is not connecting to where they were. They've changed vibration, and now they need to go something that is equally as vibrant or even more vibrant, so they can rise and match that. So that can change. But I personally, I do know higher up in the mountains is always nice, where there's more nature, far away from lots of grid system, matrix grid systems, getting away more from the Wi-Fi. I spend a lot of time in Northern California, up in the Redwood area. It's not the cleanest of areas, but in California, I have found that to be some of the cleanest areas. Yes, the great reveal, it's on its way. Then the Eustachian tube, I have problems with a lot now. I'm not sure what that is. I can get good vibes in Cali. Yeah, North Cal has some beautiful areas. You might try vagus nerve stimulation, tapping on the face. Oh, I'm so happy someone says the vagus nerve, which is one of the most amazing nerves in the world, and they are connected to most of our body. And just actually, for those of you who are having a hard time with alignment and yeah, just your body being not aligned, what we can do is take two fingers right here, and we can go, there's kind of a line here underneath our ear. So from our earlobe going up, it kind of rims our skull, and this stimulates the vagus nerve. And we can take two hands and do it on both sides while we are laying down flat on our bed or on the floor, and it stimulates the vagus nerve, which is connected to many different things, including our spleen, including our alignment, etc., and which can help balance ourselves out. Even people with scoliosis, I know that one of my teachers, the mom had severe scoliosis, and by doing this on a daily basis, twice a day, within a month, her scoliosis went down immensely. Vagus nerve is a gem. Love the mountains, wish I lived there. Well, you can always make it happen. The place under your ear vertically, you were mentioning about massaging before, that's called the, thank you, the Eustachian tube. Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that. Okay, well guys, my phone is about to die. Oh, Eustachian tube, that's how you say it. Thank you. Eustachian tube. Cool. Thank you. Learned something new. So yeah, I think I think this is it for today. My phone is about to die. Die, kind of sad. Is about to be finished, so I'm moving on to the next. Again, I'm so appreciative of all of you coming here and connecting with me. Have you done acting? You look so familiar to me. When I was younger, I was a model and I did advertisement and other stuff, but by the time I was 19, I kind of got out of that world. But no, not specifically acting. But some people tell me I look like a lot of people who are out there. Thank you very much for all of your answers. Thank you for tuning in. How often do you go live? This is my first time I've ever gone live like this by making an appointment from beforehand. But I actually am on YouTube on a daily basis. You need to go live more, haha. I will. That's what's being called of me. So thanks all of you. I feel so many tingles and just so much love, and thank you all for taking your time, precious day, to be here with me and everyone who's tuning in. And thank you all for being on your journeys and, you know, doing all the tough stuff, the shadow work. Thank you all. And yeah, I'll be more in tune, and so much love, so much blessings to all of you. Have an amazing, beautiful day. I'm gonna go up and have some breakfast. And I will speak to you when I speak to you. Mwah! Many blessings. Bye-bye.